You either create the relationship you truly want, or you settle for the one you're simply living with. Many women in our community tell me, Vanessa, my relationship isn't really bad, but it isn't fulfilling either. That is a sentence. It's one of the heaviest truths we carry as women, because not bad slowly becomes, this is just my life now. Let's sit here for a moment. Good enough is what we settle into when we're afraid to disturb the surface. It's like standing at the edge of the ocean. The water is cool, on your feet, but you're never going to dive in. And one day you realize years have passed and never actually swam. Hello, darling. I'm Vanessa. Welcome to Feminine Spaces. Here, women 40 plus reclaim their feminine power through relationship wisdom, self-mastery, and conscious living. You belong here. Let's dive in. Okay, why does this matter so deeply? Because science shows us that emotional neglect in relationships can be more damaging than outright conflict. When your emotional needs are, ignored, even subtly, your nervous system registers it as isolation. Over time, that raises your cortisol levels. It lowers your immunity, and it even ages your body faster. And from a spiritual perspective, this state of quiet resignation is like living half awake. You're a zombie. Look at it like this. You're in the house, but the lights are dimmed. You're in the marriage, but your soul isn't lit. And here's the tender truth. Women who live in good enough marriages often don't even realize it until later, when they've been starving for intimacy. Not just sex, but emotional, spiritual intimacy. And that starvation changes how we show up in our health, in our friendships, and it really does affect your confidence. Good enough is not love. It's truce. It's no woman over 40 can really just keep that in place and have any kind of peace. Because we don't live in truce. Why do so many of us settle then? I mean, it's a huge question. So let's look at it. Let's peel this back layer by layer. Let's first begin with childhood conditioning. Many of us were taught that our worth was not measured by, our worth is measured by how we care for others. Psychology calls this relational self-worth. We learned that being wanted was more important than being true to ourselves. Does that make sense? So, as adults, we tolerate more than we should. Then there's the fear of loneliness. Did you know, studies show people would rather experience mild dissatisfaction than risk the unknown of being alone? Our brain equates loneliness with danger. But here's the truth. From a spiritual perspective, solitude is actually one of the richest grounds for rebirth. Yet, fear convinces us otherwise. Oh my goodness, let's talk about societal scripts. Women over 40 are fed the narrative that love after a certain age is scarce. We're told our desirability diminishes with time. What kind of crazy talk is that? But look around. Some of the most magnetic women are those in their 50s, 60s, 70s. Why? Because true feminine power ripens. It doesn't just fade. We also tend to forget that our love, our relationships are co-created. Because here's where it gets real. Too many women believe relationships are something you either got lucky with or you didn't. Girl, love isn't a lottery. It's a daily creation. Every choice, every word, every silence builds the architecture of what lives inside of us, what lives in our immediate environment. Spiritually, settling is the opposite of expansion. It's shrinking. So, it's choosing safety over truth. And when we shrink long enough, girl, what comes up? Resentment, quiet, bitter, gnawing resentment that eventually seeps into everything. That dark cloud that just looms over you. Shall we focus on the power of conscious creation? Let's take a moment. Let's turn the page. If settling is sleepwalking, then creation is awakening. Creating the relationship that you truly want is not about starting from scratch. It's about shifting from autopilot to intentional design. One of my favorite psychologists, his name is John Gottman, and he has found that thriving couples are not couples without problems. They're couples with a culture of connection. They've created rituals of affection, ways of repairing their conflict, ways of sharing their visions about their relationships for the future. And then on the spiritual level, conscious creation begins when you reclaim your desire. Many women don't even know what they want anymore because they've numbed their life by years of compromise. But desire is sacred. Desire is a compass to the feminine. So, I'll ask you, what do you truly want in love? Maybe it's laughter. Maybe it's tenderness. Maybe it's a partner who holds your hand in public. Or maybe it's a partner who makes coffee for you in the morning. Who dreams with you about the years to come? Is it your partner? Are these the things that you want? So let's talk about practical application tips. Who wants to? I want to. Yes, please. Oh my gosh, where's your journal? Get your journal so you can write these things down. Okay, so write a line that says, write your relationship vision in the present tense. I am in a relationship where I feel adored, where we speak openly, where laughter is abundant. Then bring that vision into a conversation with your partner, not as an accusation, but as an invitation. Remember your tone. It's about being curious. It's about asking. It's about exploring. And remember, speaking your desire is not selfish. It's sacred. The feminine voice is meant to call things into being. My experience is this. When you hear stories from other women who have experienced what you're going through, somehow those obstacles don't seem so overwhelming. They don't feel full of shame. You're not alone. You don't feel embarrassed as you start to learn a new process or a new way of looking at how you assess your relationships and getting to where you want. So, here are a few stories from women like us. Let's ground this into real lives. I think of a woman who realized in her 50s that her marriage was polite but lifeless. Instead of running, she chose to lean in. How did she do that? She began asking her husband about his childhood dreams. She, in turn, shared hers. They started walking together in the evenings. It became a simple ritual. And then, within a few months, their connection rekindled. What changed? Not the man, not the circumstances. What changed was her choice to create and not coast. Second story. Ooh, I love this story. I love this story so very much. So another woman that I met at a retreat had been divorced for several years, and she had been divorced twice. She could have said that I'm unlucky in love, but instead she just reframed it. And she said, each ending taught me what I don't want. Now I get to ask clearly for what I do. And at 60, she entered the healthiest love she'd ever known. Now, I love this story so much because it does mirror a lot of what I experience. Because with my late husband, he passed away at my ripe old age of 38, and he was a few days of being 50. It took me 2 years to mourn and to understand what I learned in my previous relationship, and then kind of separated it, broke it down, and then I started thinking about what do I want in my relationships moving forward. My husband and I met 14 years ago. We've been married for 13 years, and we're constantly tweaking and curating every day of our happy life together. So from 38, when I was a widow, until 40 when we met. That's pretty interesting, right? And oh yes, here's the third. A woman who chose to walk away. One told me, leaving wasn't the end. It was the beginning of me. And I loved that for her. I loved it for her because she rebuilt her life back brick by brick. Brick by brick. Yes. And after years, she said, I've never felt so alive. So, my radiant, beautiful person, she said that she was so in love with herself. Each one of these stories reveals the same truth. You are not powerless. You are the architect of your life. Where's your journal? You got your journal? Prepare yourself because we're going to write down 5 practical pathways to creation to get you in the mindset to start exploring who you are and what you want moving forward. So let's get practical because wisdom without action, girl, it's just poetry. Here are 5 practical ways to begin. New little pathways for this week. Start with number 1. Clarity practice. Journal every Sunday night. Write this down. Ask yourself, okay, where am I settling? Where am I alive? The contrast shows you where to create. 2, sacred conversations. These are my favorite. Schedule time with your partner for visioning. This is not paying bills. It's not chores, right? Okay, so let's focus. It's not bills. It's all about your vision. Say something like, what do we want the next decade to feel like together? And then go. Number 3, boundaries with beauty. Sometimes we get so comfortable with each other that we let things run. So instead of being angry or creating ultimatums, express needs with softness. Think about it first, what you want, and then put it into words that are like, for example, I love when you hold me before bed. Could we make that a ritual? Boundaries don't have to be harsh. They can just be invitations. Remember to be curious, because when you're curious, you are softer. We tend to be softer as women when we're curious. And then model what you desire in your relationship. If you want playfulness, bring play. If you want touch, initiate touch. Not because you are over functioning, but because love is contagious. Number 5, think about spiritual alignment. Practice meditation or prayer when you visualize love as an energy field surrounding you both. It doesn't matter if your partner believes in this or not, because spiritually, your energy can shift the dynamic of yourself, of your environment, of your relationships. Each step is about reclaiming authorship. You are no longer a passenger in your relationship. You are the co-pilot. Pun intended. Those who know. Okay, my darlings. Yeah. So, my darlings, you either create the relationship you truly want, or you settle for the one you are simply surviving. This is not a warning. This is an invitation. It's your life. It's your life. And at this stage of your life, you are not here to dim your light for comfort. You are here to shine. Shine in your relationships, shine in your person, to shine, to love, to live awake. And most importantly, the beauty is that it's never too late. So whether you've been married for 30 years or you're just stepping into it after a little bit of time out, love again after heartbreak, you must remember that your canvas is still blank. Your soul still longs. And you, my loves, you, my darlings, still get to choose how you navigate your life. So don't settle for good enough. Create extraordinary. Or how do they say? Extraordinary. Because love, when it is conscious, it is the most powerful force on earth. Thank you, my darling, for spending this sacred time with me. I know you could be anywhere else and you have chosen to be here. So if today's video stirred something in your spirit, let it be more than just inspiration. Let it be a gentle invitation back to yourself. Be sure to subscribe and share this with every single woman that you know, because we need this. We need this information. And comment below. Let me know how this worked out for you, because I truly love hearing from each and every one of you. And oh my God, I get so moved by this sometimes. Remember, you're not too late. You're not too much. And you're never too far gone. Because here at FeminineSpaces, we rise in beauty, truth, and grace together. Because when a woman is in her feminine essence, she is undeniable. Until next time. Stay soft. Stay grounded. Stay rooted. And stay sovereign.